Hi, welcome to episode 13 of StressKnits. I'm Stacy, also known as StressKnits on Ravelry, and Stacy also on Instagram. That's a little shaky, but that's fine. It's been a very long time since I've been here. As in here, I mean the podcast. Life has just been crazy. It's my last 11 days of undergrad, and yeah, it was spring break, and then I came back. I think I recorded after spring break. I honestly don't remember. And then what happened? And then I had a bunch of things due for classes that had to take priority, and then Doug came down to visit, and then I came down with a stomach bug and was just out of commission, I guess, for a few days. So I'm better. I just have gotten hit with allergies, so that has also contributed to this unintended hiatus. But I'm really excited to be back, and I'm really excited to talk to you about all of the knitting I've done. I also didn't really have a lot of knitting mojo because I wasn't feeling great, but I still got a lot done. So I'm really excited, and I just want to say thank you for sticking with me if you've been here before, and thank you for checking me out if this is your first time. I have some special thank yous though that are long overdue. I wanted to say thank you to Laura from the Knit Shift podcast. She sent me a little care package to say congratulations on graduating, which is really sweet. I actually put everything away, but it had a skein of really beautiful pink yarn, some coffee, and a fur pom-pom, which I'm so excited. I'm trying to figure out the perfect sockhead hat to knit because I want to put it on a sockhead hat really badly. So thank you so much. That was just so sweet. And then I also wanted to thank Melissa of the Spicy Homemaker podcast, who mentioned me a few weeks ago. I don't remember if I said thank you before for that, but I love Melissa. She has been so sweet. She's welcomed me into this community and involved me in things, and I just can't say enough good things about her. So check both of them out. They're amazing women. Yeah, so thank you again. Yeah, so this is probably gonna be a little shaky because it's been a while, but let's get started because I have 4 finished objects, and I'm going to do this in no particular order. But I got some socks off the needles, and the first pair that I got off the needles are these. So there are 2. These are, well, whew, I was about to start talking about them before I told you the yarn. This is Baron Vola Barefoot Sock in the Sakura colorway with Wonderland Yarns Cheshire Cat fingering. I don't know the colorway. I got it from my local yarn store back in Michigan, but I love this. I love Barefoot Sock. It's one of my favorite sock bases. I've knit with it twice, and I have no complaints. I think it's kind of funny how differently they pooled. This is what I was expecting both socks to look like. This is actually my second sock. And the socks that I've seen knit up looked like this. And this is why I wanted the yarn. I think this is really cool, and I kind of love it. So they're finished, and they're really short, but that's okay. So I love them. I blocked them. I blocked all of my socks for the most part. There might be 2 that I didn't block, but I don't know. I just felt like blocking my socks. So another finished pair of socks. It's one that's been on the needles for a while as well. And this is my entry into KT's Inside Number 23 Harry Potter Knit Along, as well as the Knitting Broomstick with Jilly, the Harry Potter Knit Alongs. These are my Honey Badger-ish socks because I did one repeat of the pattern and did not care for it. But this is using O-loops in their quarter round fingering weight, and I love the space. I was really iffy about it when I purchased it, because if you've never ordered O-loops during the Harry Potter frenzy, it is an experience. It's so much fun. Every colorway is beautiful, so no matter what you end up with, it's amazing. I love O-loops. I will never stop raving about them. But it's a frenzy. I say we as in their O-loops community for the Harry Potter knit along that happens in the fall. We broke Etsy. It would not let people check out. It was saying things were sold out that weren't. It was a madhouse. And so I had my eye on the Hufflepuff Prefect colorway, but it sold out before I could get it, which was fine. And I mentioned that I didn't get my first choice, and they asked me what my first choice was. And I wasn't doing it to be like, oh, I didn't get my first choice, I'm mad. I was like, I didn't get my first choice, but I still love what I got. And they're like, well, a lot of people didn't get it, like, what are you looking for? And I told them the Hufflepuff Prefect colorway, because I'm a Hufflepuff, and they dyed up some extra Hufflepuff Prefect and listed it in the shop. And they had another update, and I got it, and it was amazing. But this was my second choice, and this is what I ended up with last year. So this is Hermione's handbag on the quarter round base. It's 100% superwash merino, and it's lovely. This one is not blocked, and this one is, and it's already soft. It's 100% superwash merino, so it's already soft, but it's just, like, I could knit a sweater out of it. It's amazing. I love it. It's very Hermione. It's perfect. Yeah, so just, the honey badger pattern did not work out so well. Also, on the second sock, I had a lapse of judgment. I was knitting during a desk shift and was talking to residents and was not really paying attention to what I was doing, and I was so confused about why I had, what I thought was I didn't drop a stitch when I was knitting. When you like knit and then you have to drop the stitch off the other needle. I didn't think I was doing that, so I was dropping them off because it looked like I was picking up extra stitches when I wasn't wanting to. But nope, those were yarn overs, because this has yarn overs in it. And so, yeah, you can see it there. So I have the purl bumps, but I have bumps from knitting two together, but I don't have the eyelets. But that is life, and that's okay. Something that a lot of podcasts have been talking about lately is how a lot of podcasters try to put up this perfectionist front, and I want to be as real as humanly possible with you guys, so I'm going to tell you when I mess up. I'm going to tell you when I'm having trouble with something, like on my Fine and Dandy socks, how I couldn't figure out the heel turn and gusset from toe up, because I do not knit toe up socks. And just like this, I just judgment lapse and messed it up. But I am also not a very type A person when it comes to knitting on socks. If I mess up on something, it's gonna be in a shoe or on my feet, and if people are staring that closely to my feet, that's a problem. So I'm not really worried about it. It doesn't bother me, so I'm cool with it. So there is pair number 2. I feel like this episode's gonna be very tangenty because I haven't talked to you in so long. I'm gonna take a drink of coffee. That is caramel, because I treated myself again to an iced caramel macchiato, because I accidentally took a 2-hour nap today. Finals and dead week. Well, it's a dead week right now, and dead week is not very dead. It's very much the busiest week of the year, so I'm exhausted. But I woke up from my nap and grabbed coffee, and I was like, I'm gonna sit down and podcast because I miss it. So, yeah. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm just talking while I'm putting socks on blocking wires. Well, blocking, I want to say blocking wires because they're wiry, but okay. So this, I think I showed you in the skein last time. This is junk yarn in the Freda colorway, which was gifted, well, it wasn't gifted, we did a yarn trade. A wonderful viewer of the podcast reached out to me when I mentioned that I loved the Freda colorway and I missed it in an update. Said she had an extra skein and would love to do a swap. And yeah, so we swapped yarn. And I had to cast it on immediately because I am in love with this colorway. And I'm in love with the way Kemper's yarn knits up. It's beautiful. In speckle yarns, I always get really excited about a certain speckle that's rarer than other speckles. So on these socks, it's the little red speckles. Every time I got a red speckle, I got so excited. So this is junk yarn in the smooth sock in the Freda colorway. I think I have the tag too. So junk yarn, Freda, smooth sock base, just a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it's amazing. I love it. I can't wait to knit up another pair of socks in her yarn, which I will talk about later. But yeah, Freda, junk yarn's amazing. Check it out. Love it. She should be having another update soon. So there's pair number 3. Last pair are my March socks. And my Indie Diary of the Month for March is, because it's, not March, it's April. It's almost May. My Indie Diary for April. So these are my April socks, not my March socks. I already finished those. The Indie Diary of the Month was spun right round, and I love spun right round. I have a weakness for spun right round. There are so many colorways I love of hers. She's amazing. Okay, so I did end up doing the contrasting heel and toe, and I'm so happy I did. I love these socks so much. Doug really liked them, which I was a little surprised that he really liked these. So I'm going to show him some spun right round and see what he likes and do something kind of funky like this for him, because his birthday is in a few days. So I need to at least start knitting him some socks. But anyway, here, I just want to show you those heels. So this is spun right round in her sock base, which is just an 80/20. This is my favorite sock base. I love 80/20s much more than 75/25s, but I don't know. I just love 80/20s. I love high twist sock yarns too. So what I did was just a 1x1 rib, and I did a longer leg, which I really loved. And then basic slip stitch heel and a wedge toe. The main color in this is in Space Highway, and the contrast is in Curry, which my friend Kayla gave to me in a swap. Right, that was Kayla. I think so. If not, I apologize, and I'm losing my mind. So yeah, these are pair number 4, which were all of the socks that I knit in the past 3-ish weeks since I last podcast. I love these. These are great. I actually finished these yesterday, so I'm still knitting at least 1 pair of socks per month, but as you can see, I've knit more. I have a lot in my box of socks right now, and I cannot wait to give them a proper socky. I don't need to take these off the blockers since they're the last ones I'm showing. but I can't wait to give them a real home in an actual box and not just a storage container. I don't know where to put these. Okay, I'm just going to move some things around. That's for later. And then I have a half-finished object. That was poorly planned. This is my Mermaid of the Black Lake Hermione's Everyday sock, and this is out of Molly's yarn. It's a homespun house yarn in Mermaid of the Black Lake on her Olsen base, and I love it. It's the perfect pattern and yarn combination. I love it. This was inspired by Laura of The Fawn and the Fox. She knit these for Katie's knit along, and I fell in love. Had to purchase the yarn, and here we are. So yeah, I followed the pattern. I did a 1x1 twisted rib for 20 rows, did the pattern as is. The only thing I didn't do, I don't like the garter panel on the Eye of Partridge heel flap, so I just did a regular Eye of Partridge heel flap. And yeah, so there's that, which moves us into works in progress. And yeah, this is a super tiny work in progress. It is a mustache of a whip, if you will, Candace. But yeah, so I just started the cuff. I started this yesterday. Then I got tired and went to sleep. Actually, I started working on my Cozy Memories blanket. But yeah, so here's the cake, which is gorgeous. I love it. I'm in no hurry to finish it because I love this yarn. I love working on this project. I love these needles, which are my Addie sock rockets. I love them. I had a little snafu with Addie sock rockets in Amazon. I purchased a 32-inch cord. I'm just going to show you this because I think it's really funny. I need to find somewhere I can print a return label for it because this is just, I mean, I can use this for fingering weight stuffies, but I don't know. So I ordered a 32-inch, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, 32-inch cord. Right there. But this is a 24-inch cord. So it's the right size, it's just the wrong cord length. If I can get it returned in time, I will, but if not, it's not the end of the world because I love making birds of happiness, and that way I don't have to compromise sock needles to knit them. So either way, it's fine, but I love them so much I had to order a second pair. And I'm really loving the gauge I get on a US 1 2.25 millimeter. My other socks, are they all knit? All of the finished socks were knit on a US 1.5 2.5 millimeter, and then my Hermione's Everyday socks were knit on a US 1. But yeah, I really love the gauge that I'm getting on US 1, so I'm gonna, depending on the yarn, pick which size I'm going to use, and I really like it. The next work in progress I'm really excited about because I fell back in love with my gable sweater. And I'm 100% owing all of this to Katie of Inside Number 23 because she started talking about Hannah Fettig patterns and how they're just the perfect, simple, classic pattern. They're wonderful, and this is no exception. So since I haven't shown it in a while, I'm going to show the body, which is done. Up to, I just need to separate for the sleeves. It's a little wrinkly because it's been folded on my desk for months. But here it is. And yeah, so there it is. It's longer in the back, and it has that cute little triangle ribbing. It's all twisted rib, stockinette body, and I love it. This is Oval Awash Fingering in the Pearly Muscle colorway. I love it. It's my favorite purple. I love purples that lean gray-y brown. So yeah, the body's done. I just need to knit the sleeves and connect them and knit the yoke. So, not too much, right? But I have been having trouble figuring out, and not even figuring it out because I haven't knit the sleeves yet. I've had trouble thinking through adding the sleeves and joining them to the sweater. So, when KT was talking about this, a lot of other podcasts have just been talking about just going for it and trying new things, and so that's what I'm going to do. So I've been knitting the sleeve. I had about that much done of a sleeve, and then I felt like it was too big, so I frogged it, and I just started this last week. And I've been knitting on other things, so this is going to be my stockinette project right now, and I'm in love with it. That's how much I knit during class today, because I could only knit during one lecture because everything else I had to take a lot of notes. So yeah. So I modified the sleeve a little bit. I cast on less stitches, and I went down a needle size to accommodate for the way I wanted the sleeve to fit. So I'm about to the elbow, and this is superwash, so it's going to stretch a bit. So I love this. I love it so much. I have my fawn stitch marker my Aunt Lisa got me, which I love. I use it on almost everything. And yeah, so this is a sleeve. I'm hoping to have at least one done by next week. Hopefully. Yeah, I really want to get this done by the end of May. That's my goal. Who knows if it'll happen. There's a lot of stuff happening because life is getting crazy and real. So there's that. I'm knitting them on my carbons interchangeables, which I love. It's the only interchangeable set I have, and I'm so glad that it's the one that I went with, because I love carbons. I know a lot of people don't, but it's one of my favorite needles. So okay, so I showed Mermaid of Black Lake and the Gable sweater being revived. I have also been inspired. I've just been really inspired by podcasts lately. You guys are amazing. I love this community. I picked up my Cozy Memories blanket again. I have no idea what I showed you last. I should have looked at my last podcast, but there's something weird to me, at least, watching myself more than once. I watch it once to make sure I'm not doing anything crazy or anything super annoying. So I always watch it once through after it's published to see if I need to delete it, if it's horrible. But yeah, I know for sure you haven't seen these three. Well, actually, I think you haven't seen a lot of these. Okay, so Shannon of the Sock Setcher podcast, which is one of my favorites, is doing a blanket blitz. And it is, is it called the blanket blitz? I don't know, but it's essentially just giving love to your blanket or whatever you're using your minis for. So it's really a great knit along. You can knit one and you can qualify. It's a really great knit along. And it's just to pull out your mini project. So in the last 3 weeks, I've knit quite a few squares. Okay, so if I've shown you this, forgive me, but I have no idea. So this is Full and Fine yarn in the Pablo the Blowfish colorway, which is that one-of-a-kind skein I showed off last time that I'm so in love with, I just had to put a square in right away. It's beautiful. and it has stellina in it, and I love it. This is spun right round in the clairvoyant colorway. This is left hand last in the clawfoot tub colorway, which I will be talking about shortly because I'm a horrible podcaster, and it all just fell at the wrong time. But I'm going to be talking about it next. This is a homespun house in the Mirth colorway, which is a mini I received when I ordered the Mermaid of Black Lake. This is stitched together. I'll just show my stash enhancement now. So one of the things that I got in the past month was this skein of Stitch Together Studio. I was inspired again by Legacy Knits. Chelsea, she knit a pair of socks by them. Their yarn is incredibly affordable. I got a coupon with this order, so I will be ordering again at some point. Not anytime soon, because I don't know. I am in that stage where I feel very satisfied with my stash, and I just don't feel like I need to buy things. But if I see something that I really love, I'll get it. And this was ready to ship, and a lot of their stuff is dyed to order. And being about to move back home and have a different address, well, it's the same address I've had my entire life, but it's not my school address anymore. I just really didn't want to deal with when shipping was going to happen, if it was going to happen too soon and it was going to be sitting on my porch while everybody's here while I graduate, or if it was going to be shipped here and they would have to forward it, you know? So yeah, I purchased this, and this is the Mist Wraith, I think, colorway. Ooh, there it is. And it's an 80/20. I'm obsessed with mint, if you didn't know that about me. And it has shocks of this magenta and navy, and I just love it. So I have one other stash enhancement, but I'll be talking about it later. But yeah, so I put a square in my blanket, and I love it. And then I added other side of the blanket. I think I showed you the Mermaid of the Black Lake at one point, but then I did the Freda colorway from Junk Yarn. I've shown you all of these. This is Cakewalk Footsie. All of them are right here. In Chalkboard, which was from a swap. This is spun right round in a mini, which is kind of almost famous, right? Almost kind of famous. Yeah. She's doing these things. She is about to put out a new base, and it's a 75/25, and it's a 92 yard mini. So I get one for myself and about 2 to 3, depending on who I'm sending things to, for swaps, which I really love. So yeah, I saw this colorway and I had to have it, and it was only a few dollars. It's that point where shipping is as expensive as the mini. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it, because if she came out with a full skein of this color, I would get it. I love it. And then this is my other stash enhancement, which came literally right after I podcast last time. And this is Druzy. Is it Druzy or Drezzy? I think it's Druzy. That's how everyone's saying it. Druzy Rising in the Pathway colorway, and I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. It's gorgeous. I just started this a little bit ago. Also, I'm falling back in love with my Chiaogu needles, but it has to be with the right yarn. That is what I've noticed with it. It just has to be with the right yarn. But I love them. I love them for this project. And if any of you are curious, I use just whatever sock needles available in a 1.5, and I cast on 41 stitches, or I pick up the 41, and then my decrease in the middle is I slip 1, knit 2 together, pass the slip stitch over. I found it on a blog somewhere when I wanted to start it last January. And yeah. So I will be showing you the Druzy Rising close up in a little bit, but first I have to show you one more whip, which is also a part of a yarn review. So Kirsten of Left Hand Lass messaged me on Ravelry and asked if she could send me some minis, and I said yes because I love minis, and she asked me if I could do a review, and that's something that I really wanted. That's something that I really want to do on this channel, is to review indie dyers, because I love indie dyers. I love seeing new indie dyers pop up, and yeah, so I am actually going to start doing that on my own. I mean, I would love if you're an indie dyer that's starting up and you want to send me something to review. I would love that, but I'm also just going to purchase some things here and there. Not all the time, because saving for a wedding and being an adult. But every now and then there are a few indie dyers that I'm really in love with right now that have just started, and I just want to showcase them. But Kirsten reached out to me, which I was so ecstatic about. She asked me if she could dye me some mini skeins. So of course I said yes. She asked me what colors I would like, and I told her like anything, but she suggested my wedding colors. And I was like, yeah, I'll tell you my wedding colors. And Doug and I are not really into the whole wedding colors, like super specific palette. We just want it to be very muted. Gray is like the main color that's going to be tied in throughout, but then just muted winter tones of colors. So first off, she packaged it in this adorable little cupcake thing, and I haven't touched these because I wanted to show you how adorable this packaging is. Killed me because all I wanted to do was put them in my blanket. So look at this. It's perfect. The colors are spot on. Yeah, I love this. So I'm gonna try not to make a lot of noise, but look how adorable these are. So yeah, there are some with gold stellina, there are some with silver stellina, and then there's just a regular sock base. I think it's $75.25, but I could be wrong. Yes. So I'm going to show you a few of these up close. So this is with silver stellina, and it's like my perfect shade of blue. So this is gorgeous. So it's just a nice simple blue, really pretty. Oh goodness, I love all of these so much. Look at this one. I think this one has silver as well. Silver. So that's really pretty. This gray is perfect. This has gold, I think. Looks gold to me. Yeah, and then this is a non-sparkle base. And they're all so soft. I'll tell you more as I work with them and put them into my blanket. I love all of these. Look at this ballerina pink. It's just perfect. So I will tell you more as I work with these, but she also sent me a skein of yarn and said I could either keep it or give it away, and well, there are two reasons why. Put that down. I chose to keep it. One is I am horrible at the post office right now just because I don't have access to a car and it's kind of a far walk. So if you won for the Indie Dye Knit Along, your prizes are coming. I have them all packaged up. I just need to go to the post office and ship them out. So I'm sorry, but yeah, that life has just gotten in the way. And yeah, so I promise I haven't forgotten about you. They will be shipped out soon, like the next 2 weeks, I promise. It's just been really hectic. So 1, I suck at going to the post office, and 2, I fell in love with the color and I needed to knit a sock with it. So I'm going to show you her label first. This is it. Left Hand Lass. Her shop is on Etsy. Is it on here? No. But if you... yeah, it is. Ha! I knew it would be. I'm just blind. Glasses. They also came with the cute little stitch markers that I love, but lefthandlass.etsy.com. I will put a link. It's right here. Nope, that's not where it is. There it is. Lefthandlass.etsy.com. And her tags are gorgeous. I love brown paper in general. Yeah, I just think this is really cool. But this is on her Riches base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% gold stellina. It's fingering weight, and the colorway is clawfoot tub, which, something you may not know about me is I'm kind of obsessed with baths, which is really hard when you don't have a bathtub at school. But in my dream home that is in my head, and who knows what'll happen in the future, I have a clawfoot tub. So that's another reason I needed to keep this, because I want a clawfoot tub so badly. They're beautiful. Here's it knit up. So it has the minty green that I've been obsessing over lately. It has this beautiful gold stellina and the gold undertones that kind of take over the sock in the best way possible. The base is perfect. It's super soft. And it's just, I can see her quickly becoming one of my favorite indie dyers. She has other colorways that I love. And I mean, it's just gorgeous. I love that it's not pooling. It's very evenly distributed, and it's just so pretty. So you guys, go check her out. She is definitely somebody to keep your eye on. She's just amazing and talented, and I'm so, so grateful that she wanted to share this with me. So thank you, Kirsten. It's awesome. And this is it in the cake. I love it. It's so pretty. And it's so squishy. So I'm in love with it. Go check it out. I'm knitting this on a Carbon US 1, 2.25 millimeter. I had some credit at Eat Sleep Knit. So I just purchased this because all I had to do was pay for shipping. So that was cool. Yeah, so that's the sock. And I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so there is everything I have been working on for the past few weeks. But as you know, April's almost over. The next time I'm recording, which I'm planning on recording, I'm not gonna promise anything because life is just really hectic right now, and I know all of you understand that. I graduate May 7th, and next week is finals week. And not only is it finals week, I have to do checkouts as an RA. So I will be helping people, not helping people move out, I will be making sure people are ready to move out and checking their rooms once they leave. So I'm actually on call on Monday. So hopefully everything goes well and I'm able to record. So the plan is to see you next Monday. But that being said, it's May 1st. It's May 1st or 2nd. Checking my calendar. I think it's the 2nd, May 1st. don't know. But I'm trying to think in my head. I think it's the 2nd. I don't know. Don't quote me. But next Monday, it will be the first episode of May, which means I will be having a new Indie Dyer of the Month, and I am beyond overjoyed to feature her because I could see her being my older sister. I already have 2 amazing older sisters, but I think she'd fit in with us very well. And not only is it Kemper of Junk Yarn, who I'm featuring, I am knitting with her Sylvia colorway. I have everything ready to go. I'm so excited to cast on. Caked it up because I just wanted to look at it. And the more I look at it, the more I want to knit a featherweight cardigan out of it. But I'm going to pace myself. I think this is the one colorway that I might buy multiple times. Because, I mean, it's Sylvia Plath. It's my perfect pink with crazy colors that aren't too crazy. And it's based on Sylvia Plath. Like, and it's dyed by Kemper, and I love her, and I love her yarn. So she is my Indie Dyer of May. Spun Right Round has been amazing. I love everything she dyes. I feel bad that I haven't been podcasting this month, so I couldn't really give her the recognition that I would want to, but I have 2 skeins in my stash. I'm pointing over there because it's under my bed. I have 2 more skeins in my stash that I'll be knitting with and raving over because I love everything she dyes. But I just needed this in my life. So she should be having an update. I want to say she's going to have an update next week, but I'm not sure, just based on her schedule that she's been doing. But she should have one soon. And if you can get your hands on some junk yarn, I would love that. And if you can't, talk about the colorways that you love. And yeah, or even, oh, we have a Ravelry group. I don't know if I mentioned that. We have a Ravelry group for StressKnits. I will be linking it in the down bar. And come join the chatter. The group has been a little dead because I have been MIA for a few weeks. Also, for the introduction thread, something that I don't want to do is give you a half-butted response to something that you put your heart into. So just know that I'm reading them. Know that I am hoping to catch up on that as soon as I graduate and message all of you individually because I love that each and every one of you are part of this community, and I really appreciate it. So I just want you to know that I haven't forgotten about doing that. I just want to make sure that it's heartfelt and real and not just something that looks cookie cutter. So, but come join the conversation. There is a thread for Indie Dyer of the Month to talk about the Indie Dyers that I've chosen, to show off projects that you've knit in that yarn, to inspire other people, to enable other people, and I just think it's a lot of fun. We had a lot of really great stuff for the Spun Right Round month. Yeah, so junk yarn, cast on May 1st if you have any. There's no prizes or anything like that. It's just a fun thing that we can do together. So this is just going to be a vanilla sock. But there are some knit-alongs that are coming up in May that I'm really excited about. And one of them is the cookie jar knit-along. That is hosted by Candace of Pin Feathers and Pearls and Laura of The Fawn and the Fox, who are 2 of my favorite people. I love them. Love their podcasts. Love everything they knit. Check them out. Yeah, so what they're doing is they're doing a sock knit along for Cookie A Patterns, who is well known for the monkey socks. But something I learned very quickly is that I knit monkey socks out of Wool and Fine yarns, but I could not bring myself to continue the pattern past the leg. It wasn't for me. I don't think I'm a lace sock knitter. I'm a texture kind of girl. So there's this pattern that I have been obsessing over since I saw it on the Suburban Stitcher podcast with Diane, who I also love. And she actually reminds me a lot of my future mother-in-law, which makes me really excited. And yeah, so she knit, she was in the Cookie A sock pattern club, and one of them for last year was called Zero Escape, and I think I'll try to link it in the show notes, which are on Ravelry in the Ravelry group. I'll try to remember to link it, but it looks like a broken rib kind of thing. It's textured and it's beautiful, and I wanted to see if it was available yet, and it was available April 1st. So that is the sock pattern I'm going to be knitting by Cookie A. Cast on is May 1st, and I think it goes to the end of June, so plenty of time to do it. Her patterns tend to be a little more tedious, so I'm really happy that they're giving us extra time, but I'm going to be knitting it in my Druzy Rising. So I think Candace is knitting her Cookie A socks out of Druzy, and I even want to say that Laura is too. So jumping on the bandwagon because I love Druzy Rising. If you can get your hands on some, it's really hard, but just try, and if you don't get it, it's just not meant to be, and it gets to be with somebody else that's gonna love it, and that's just the way you have to look at it. There are so many times that I've missed out on updates that I was thinking about and I was borderline obsessing over. I'm even like looking at the clock because I know Jinx is having an update, and I don't even know if I'm gonna buy anything. I just like being there just in case I see something that I love. And I still I'm allowing myself to treat myself to one skein of yarn for graduation because it's the culmination of 4 years of my life. So it's almost, well, it's 7:40 p.m. right now. It's getting dark because it's going to thunderstorm, but that's why I keep looking up, because I want to make sure that I'm there at 8. So, because I'm in the Eastern time zone, she's in Central. So, yes, and it's her variegated colorways, which, unpopular opinion, I like her variegated colorways better than her self-striping. There it is. But yeah, so like, I have missed updates of things that I really wanted and really thought about, but it's so hard to like look at indie dyer feeds on like Instagram and see people just getting really mad at them for not making more, and I don't know, it's a one-person business, and people are just people, and they're sharing something that they don't have to share with us, so just cut them some slack and just know that if you don't get it, somebody else is, and they're gonna love it just as much as you would, and bring more love than anger. That's just my PSA, because it's been really, like, it hurts my heart a little bit when people just get really mad at these indie dyers. I'm like, they're just a person. But that being said, Druzy Rising sells out in seconds. I don't know how I caught this, but I did. It's that green that I really love right now, and it's just speckled and gorgeous. Her card is under all of these socks. There it is. Okay, so her card is super cute as well. So there's this. It came with 2 stitch markers. I put one on something. I don't remember what I put it on. But there's that. Her marketing is just, it's gorgeous. So Druzy Rising, this cute little hexagon stitch marker that I'll actually probably use when I knit socket hats. And then she wrote Pathway. I love it. I cannot wait for May 1st to cast on my Zero Escapes and to cast on my Sylvia Plath socks. So these are the only two things that I'm going to be casting on. I'm trying to get other things off the needles. So I really want to get my gable sweater off the needles, and then I'm gonna probably start knitting my wedding sweater because that's not very far away. Yeah, so that's all of the knitting. Thank you for watching, and thank you guys so much for sticking with me after all of these weeks of not being around. Thank you for understanding. Hi Mom, I know you've been wanting me to put one out. So I just want to say hi. Yeah, so I don't know what else to say. I was going to talk about, oh, that's what I was going to talk about. So I know I already briefly talked about an iffy recording schedule, like next week, but this is gonna be a reoccurring theme because I'm moving back home with my parents and I'm looking for a job, a real person job. I've applied to a bunch of things. There are other things that I have to wait to apply to because they're not hiring until like June, July, and there are other places that want you to be in state to interview and not do like a Skype interview or phone interview, so I have to wait until I'm home to apply so that if I get called for an interview I can just go. So this next month is going to be super hectic. Not only that, Doug is moving out of where he lives now with, he had 2 roommates, but one of them moved, and the other one, they're not re-upping their lease because both the guys are getting married. So what Doug is doing is he and I are looking for an apartment, but I'm going to be living with my parents, and he's going to be moving into where we're living once we get married. So we're going to be apartment hunting, and I'm going to be helping him like decorate once he moves in, and even probably store a lot of my stuff there so that I don't have to worry about it in January. Yeah, it's just crazy. I'm really excited to move back in with my parents. I don't know. I'm just excited because I haven't been home in 4 years for an extended period of time, and I'm excited to live with them for the 8 months before I get married. So yeah, so I will be helping pick out where I'm gonna live for a while and moving back in with my parents and job hunting. And so I don't know what the recording schedule is going to look like. I don't know where I'm going to record. I think once Doug finds a place to live, I'll probably set up a little corner and have my own little desk there, so we can have like work dates or whatever, but maybe that's where I'll podcast. Yeah, so it's just a really exciting time in my life, and it's just going to be hectic, and I really hope you guys understand that. But I'm really excited, and I have some stuff in the works this summer. I'm going to be toying around with dyeing. It's something I wanted to do for a long time, and I'll finally have a place to do it, so look out for that. I don't know if I'm going to be any good at it, so it's going to be for my consumption only right now. And so that's happening. I am planning to learn how to sew. Doug has an older sister who is also named Stacy, who is really good at sewing, so we're gonna go visit them June, July, one of the J months, and I'm gonna bring some fabric and be like, hey, can you teach me some basics on how to sew a skirt? Because I really want to learn how to sew clothes. So that's happening this summer. My sister is getting married in September, which is super exciting, so all of that stuff's happening, and it's just a really, really exciting time in my life, and it's going by so fast, and I can't, like, I feel like I don't have time to just sit down and take it in. So yeah, that's just kind of my general chattiness for the end of the podcast. But thank you again for watching if you stayed this long through my gibberish. But yeah, I can't wait to see you guys next week, and I hope you knit all of the things and have a wonderful time.